So to understand this concept more clearly, you can go through this case study. In a leading case, Balfour versus Balfour, they were husband and wife actually. The surnames are given here, Balfour versus Balfour. This is a case of 1990. What happened in this case? I'm not going to explain you this case because I've already explained the concept, and this is now your task of going through this. It is very simple English and very simple thing is given over here. Just read it, try to understand, and if you have any doubts, please ask it to me. That whatever you have not understood in this, by reading, going through this case, you can easily understand that what I wanted to say, that what is difference between an agreement and a contract. So now going further, now we will see that how does an agreement is made. What are the general principles? How agreement is considered as a कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक जो आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनता है कि एग्रीमेंट को जब हम लॉ से इन्फोर्सेबल करते हैं तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बन जाता है, राइट? बट देर आर अ फ्यू things which must be there while making an agreement. Anything in any way, anyhow, will not be considered as an agreement. So this is a chart here shown in your book itself. It has been given that these are the general principles of contract, how an agreement becomes a contract, or what are the conditions for agreement to be a contract, or what is a valid contract, what is a valid agreement. इस तरह के कितने भी questions आते हैं, whatever question you get, this is the answer for that. So one by one I'll let you understand that what these things mean. So first of all, offer is given, then acceptance, consideration, capacity to contract, free consent, unlawful object, discharge, remedies, and impossibilities, right? You must remember all these 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. All these 9 points are to be by hearted by you. ये बिल्कुल आपको याद होने चाहिए. इसमें ऐसा नहीं है कि आप इसके जगह पे कोई और वर्ड यूज कर देंगे. एक्सप्लेनेशन यू कैन गिव इट इन योर ओन वे, बट these must be remembered by you as it has been written here. So one by one I'll explain you what are these things. First of all, offer. Offer क्या होता है, ठीक है? Now come downwards, one by one we will see. So first of all, we will understand what is offer or proposal and acceptance. The offer or proposal is the first step in formation of a contract. क्यों ऐसा कहा गया? Why it is the first step? Because see, a contract is between two parties, isn't it? A contract is between two parties. दो parties होती हैं. As I gave you the example that A said to B that okay, come at the coffee shop and I'll give you a treat of one coffee. क्या था ये? What was this? This was an offer actually. हम कहते हैं ना कि उसने मुझे ऑफर किया तो मैं चला गया. He offered me, so I went over there. That is only the offer. So there must be a offer or a proposal. Okay, in general terms we say that my friend proposed that this thing should be done. वही चीज, वही proposal और वही offer. And second thing, acceptance क्यों जरूरी है? मतलब why acceptance is a mandatory point, or it is a uh, principle of agreement or contract? Because if A has offered B that come at the coffee shop and I'll give you treat, fine, and if B is not accepted, तो क्या होगा? What will happen? वो बात वहीं खत्म हो जाएगी. मैं आपसे कह रहा हूँ कि ओके स्टूडेंट्स, इतने बजे आप ग्रुप पे ऑनलाइन आइए, मैं आपको एक बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन बताऊंगा जो बोर्ड एग्जाम में आना है, ठीक है? यू पीपल डिडंट टर्न अप. nobody gave me any consent that okay हाँ हम आएंगे या नहीं आएंगे, whatever it is, मुझे कुछ पता ही नहीं चल रहा. तो that is nothing. I came up with my offer, but you people didn't accepted my offer. Or some students do come forward and say that okay sir, nahin, we are very honest, we don't want to get this helping hand from you, we will study the whole syllabus, we are not interested in any important questions. ठीक, you people rejected my offer. वहीं के वहीं कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एग्रीमेंट का सिनेरियो खत्म हो जाता है, वो आगे बढ़ता ही नहीं है. फाइन. सो दिस इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ ऑफर, प्रपोजल एंड इट्स एक्सेप्टेंस. Just I'll read it for you once. When one person signifies to another his willingness to do or not to do certain things, it is called an offer, as I've just told you. Section 2A of Indian Contract Act. The definition has been mentioned in the act itself. The person making the proposal or offer is called the offerer, and the person to whom the offer is made is called offeree. These two words you have to remember. One who makes the offer is called offerer. One who makes the offer is called offerer, and one who is supposed to accept the offer is called offeree. Fine. In our example, the friend named A is an offerer and the friend named B is an offeree. The offer given must be with an intention to create a legal relationship, then only it will be considered as a contract. An assent or consent given to an offer by the offeree is known as acceptance. As I've just told you that when an offer is made by an offerer, and unless and until the second party accepts it, gives its consent. The example I gave of the students कि मैं आपसे क्वेश्चन के लिए बोल रहा हूँ कि इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन मैं आपको बताऊंगा और आप उसको एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, यू आर नॉट गिविंग योर कंसेंट, बात खत्म हो गई वहीं पे, बिकॉज द ऑफर मेड बाय मी इज नीदर बीन एक्सेप्टेड बाय यू नॉर बीन गिवन एनी कंसेंट, असेंट कंसेंट एक्सेप्टेंस कुछ नहीं है उसमें, है ना, तो वो वहां पे नहीं माना जाएगा, राइट। ऑफर प्लस एक्सेप्टेंस इज कॉल्ड अग्रीमेंट। एक द फर्स्ट पार्टी गिव्स ऑफर, द सेकेंड पार्टी एक्सेप्ट्स द ऑफर, द ऑफरर गिव्स ऑफर, understood, and offeree accepts the offer, then only it becomes agreement. Agreement is this much only, that an offer is made by party A and party B accepts the offer कि ठीक है, this person says that come at 5 o'clock at coffee shop, I'll give you party of, I'll in treat I'll offer, I'm offering you a cup of coffee, and party B says that okay I'm coming, we'll hide, अग्रीमेंट हो गया। अब वो ए पहुंचते हैं वहां नहीं, बी पहुंचते हैं वहां नहीं, वो सब चीजों में हम लोग नहीं जा रहे हैं, वी आर जस्ट ओनली कंसर्न दैट व्हाट एन अग्रीमेंट इज कॉल्ड। सी स्टूडेंट्स, इन जनरल टर्म्स आप लोग देखेंगे कई जगह पे एग्रीमेंट वर्ड यूज होता है कि उनके बीच में एग्रीमेंट हो गया, ये हो गया, उसके वो सब चीजें मत, जनरली इन जनरल टर्म्स इन डे टू डे लाइफ many of the legal terms are misused or misinterpreted by people, right? So don't get confused. Just understand that an offer made by offerer, and when it is accepted by the offeree, then it is called as agreement. And illustration is being given here. Just go through it and try to understand. Here two case studies given. In an English case, Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company 1893. This is a very good and very important case. Just go through it once. I'm not saying to understand it totally. It's not like that. I'll once again let you understand this whole case. Not now, once the chapter is over, because then only you will understand. And be assured, students, that this Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball case, in one or another way, you will face this case in your examination. Have it in your mind, write it down somewhere, कहीं लिख कर रख लीजिए आप कि ये केस आपके एग्जामिनेशन में आना ही आना है, कहीं ना कहीं जरूर आना है। एंड मोर ओवर द project files which you will be preparing for your this board examination, external examination of 20 marks, in that also this is a very good case study to be presented in your file, because it is entirely dependent on your syllabus. Now the next point was consideration in that flow chart. If you remember that, what a consideration is. Consideration means anything which we get in return, whether it is financial, monetary, or just in return, anything which can be called is called as consideration. What does this consideration means? That if there is an agreement or if there is a contract between two persons and if there is nothing in return, रिटर्न में अगर कुछ नहीं हो रहा है तो उसको हम ऑफर या agreement या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं कहते हैं। लाइक आई एम ऑफरिंग यू टू come at the shop at 5 p.m. and have a coffee from my side. Then what is the consideration here? Consideration is coffee. Fine. So a consideration must be there while making an agreement or a contract. Now capacity to contract. What is the capacity to contract? As we have studied in last chapter of Transfer of Property Act, there we have studied that what are the requisites for two parties to form a contract, if you remember. So that thing only, the capacity to contract. I'm again revising, just reading it for the people. A person who is major, that is above 18 years of age, competent to enter into a contract, that is of sound mind. Minors are not competent to enter in a contract. The exception to this rule is that if minor enters into a contract and the enforcement of such contract is beneficial for the minor, then it will not be held to be void. If there are two parties A and B and the second party is minor, that is less than age of 18, but still if due to that contract that minor is going to get some type of benefit, fine, then that thing will be considered as a contract, that will not be null and void. Furthermore, a person should also have a sound mind, that is above 18 years of age, sound mind, and should not be disqualified by any law in force.